Hello, this is Jamie Drummond for Good Food Revolution. I'm here with Virginie Joly, a daughter of the illustrious Nicolas Joly, who have a wonderful, wonderful estate in the Loire Valley in France. So, Virginie, tell me a little bit about what your family do down at your site. You're a very, very small, actually, operation in the Loire Valley, and tell us a little bit about your plans for the future.
So yes, the estate is very small. We have 15 hectares, biodynamic since 30 years now about. And we try to produce wine that reflects the terroir we have, which is mainly brown slate. And it's a very specific spot. The Coulée de Céran was actually planted in 1130 by the Cistercian monks. And it stayed in vines since then. And we are just there for a short time, so we try to keep the estate as it has been in the past and not interfering or as less as possible with nature, so that the vines just produces grapes next to the terroir and express the terroir in the wine.
Now, all of the land is planted to Chenin. This is true?
Yes, exactly.
That is the grape which has always been grown in that appellation.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, you practice biodynamic drinking. Now, please explain a little bit about what that means to you yourself as you're managing the estate there.
Biodynamic is today a lot of people are going biodynamic or organic because it's a trend, it's a fashion, and it's a good way maybe to sell some wines.
You think for some people it's more of a kind of marketing thing rather than something that's really been needed?
Yes. Which is on one side, which is good because it's give a little bit of release to the earth and the things are green, let's say it like that. But when my father chose to produce biodynamic wines, it really was because it's the only real way to express the terroir in the wine, because you don't interfere with the plant. The plant catches the soil and the climate, and the plant does it much better than we do. And then we just harvest the grapes when they are ripe and press the juice, and in the cellar we don't do anything except adding a little bit of sulfur before bottling.
Yes.
So really to have a wine that expresses the place and the climate of the year.
Now, your wines are reasonably controversial in some markets simply because they're not really very conventional wines, are they?
No, they are not conventional wines, that's true. The thing is, either you just produce wine in a way people like it.
Yes.
Everybody can do this. Or you produce wine like the nature is giving it to you, and you just bring it like it has been produced by the nature. And that's the way we are doing it. We really try to interfere as less as possible. So people like it or not, which is good. And I think that's the best way.
Now, where are your biggest markets for those wines? Because they are definitely individual in style. And I often wonder, I've served them to many people in Canada, and half of them get it, half of them don't. Mm-hmm. I happen to love the wines. But where are your biggest markets for your wines?
For the moment, it's the US, in Japan. Brazil is now, yes, it's starting to be a very good market because Brazil is a country very much involved in organic things.
Yes.
Very interested. And I think slowly by slowly all the professionals will just see if there really are wine lovers, that biodynamic wines or organic wines are the only wines really that express a special place.
The only wines which are truly genuine and authentic.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, your wines are, as I said, they're very individual in style. And I do believe that comes from both the way that you make those wines biodynamic and from the particular terroir. Mm-hmm. When you serve these wines, when you have them yourself in a dining situation, how do you prepare the wine? Do you ever decant the wines beforehand? And what kind of foods would you say that your wines went best with?
Well, definitely our wines, like most of the biodynamic wines, need oxygen to express themselves.
Yes.
So I would say for the 8-9 first years of aging, definitely I would decant them.
Oh, of course, because these wines are capable of some serious aging.
Exactly.
What are the oldest examples of your family's wines that you've tasted?
I tasted a few weeks ago, actually, 64.
64?
that could still age 20 more years.
So this was before your father took over then?
Yes, at that time it was my grandmother, and it was not organic, but in the 60s the agriculture was not so aggressive as we do it today. So, okay, they had copper and sulfur, but that's almost the only thing they had.
And what kind of foodstuffs would you have your wines with? That's always something that slightly confused me when I've been pairing them. I've always been I've always been curious as to what your family would pair the wines with.
Well, most of the time, I find the wine should adapt to every dish. Of course, you have better marriage than others, so definitely any sea fish with some sauce like a beurre blanc.
Yes, yeah.
Or white meat with creamy sauce, things like strong dishes, and the wines fit very well with them.
Excellent. Well, I will be trying that upon my return from the United Kingdom when I have a moment, and I actually have a couple of bottles of your wines, which I do have to open up sometime soon. So thank you very much for joining us today, and we look forward to catching up with you and your wines sometime very soon. Thank you, Virginie.
Very much.